Defense may call its next witness.
The defense calls the defendant, Robert Race Ipsa,
Please come forward, sir.
and for the purposes of the examination, I'll be using the diagram, if that's all right with you all.
The diagram over there?
This diagram, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Sir,
fine.
is the testimony you're about to give in this court the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please sit down. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Robert Race Ipsa, I-P-S-A-H.
Counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ipsa, what do you do for a living?
I'm a real estate locator.
And where exactly do you live?
I actually live at 1113 South Glenwood Drive here in Columbia.
Where do you, or who do you live with?
I live with my roommate, Wes.
And how exactly do you know the plaintiff?
We're in the same fraternity back in college.
The plaintiff?
Oh, sorry, the plaintiff. I'm sorry. We're not talking about my roommate. The plaintiff. I don't actually know the plaintiff personally. We'd never talked or seen each other before the trial. So.
And now how do you know Wes?
Wes. Wes and I actually, we were fraternity brothers back in college. I know that he works here in town. He's also my landlord. I live
Okay.
with him, so.
Mr. Ipsa, do you own dogs?
I do have a dog, an English setter named Queenie.
Did you previously own another dog, the dog in question, Chowser?
I did, yeah. I used to have this chow dog, Chowser.
And how did you come to own Chowser?
I actually bought it from West back in '05, I think.
Okay. So Wes was the previous owner. How would you describe Wes Menser?
West, you know the words nervous Nelly come to mind. He's just very anal. That's just kind of how he is. You know, a nice guy, but just very, nervous, uptight about a lot of things.
Okay. Speaking of Chowser, the dog, would you recognize pictures of the dog if I were to show you them?
Oh, absolutely.
Permission to approach with Defense Exhibit 1, or 2 rather, and 1 and 2 rather.
That's fine.
Sir Ipsa, take a second to look those over. Those appear to be fair and accurate copies or representations of the dog, Chowser.
Yes, they do.
We move to admit Defense Exhibits 1 and 2. I believe
They're
one's
admitted.
already
I think one's already in, but they're both admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. The plaintiff is claiming that Chowser, that dog, attacked him, or her rather, on June 6, 2010. Did you witness this alleged incident?
No, I didn't.
I'm showing you a copy of what's been marked as Joint Exhibit 8.
Okay.
It's already been admitted to evidence. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Does that appear to be the same type of fence that surrounds your house at 1113 Glenwood?
Yeah, that chain link fence.
Could you describe for the court what type of fence it is?
You know, it's a chain link fence, very easy to see through.
Okay. And
I
Your
have
Honor, you
control already.
All right. Now, I'm going to direct your attention to Joint Exhibit number 7. How do you recognize this?
This is a diagram that I'd actually drawn of my subdivision.
Okay. And moving back to June 6th, the day in question, describe for the court what happened.
Well, let's see, June 6th. I'd come home from work, ran inside, I saw Becky inside watching TV, probably some soap opera or something. I'd run upstairs to take a shower, and then a few minutes later I hear some growling or barking or yelling outside, so I throw some clothes on real quick, I run outside, and that's, when I saw it. I saw my dog Chowser on top of some intruder in my backyard.
When you saw the dog on top of an intruder, what did you do next?
Well, at that point, I didn't know who the person was at that point, but I ran up and I tried to get Chowser off of the person.
If I could ask the witness to step down and use the diagram briefly.
That's fine.
Would you show the court where you saw Chowser and the plaintiff and where you pulled the dog off of her?
Oh yeah, Chowser and the plaintiff, they were back here. Do you want to mark on?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Sure. Chowser and the plaintiff, I guess, were sort of back here, and I had actually run out off of the deck out there to get them.
And when you pulled Chowser off of her, where did you place Chowser?
Chowser actually hauled over the fence and put him into the pool yard.
Would you just mark that with a C?
Sure.
Thank you. And just stay there for 1 second. If anyone were to enter the backyard to read this meter, as been marked here, would you just circle which gate they would use?
Oh yeah, they were going to enter the backyard.
Your Honor, could they please move I'm sorry to interrupt. Could they please move the easel so that we can see it more easily from our perspective? Thank you.
Yep. Everyone see that all right?
That's fine.
So you marked this left gate here?
Yeah, to get in the backyard.
Okay. As you're approaching the backyard, you can go ahead and take your seat, Mr. Ipsa. As you're approaching the backyard and you're approaching this gate here on the left, you said it was a chain link fence. what presumably would you be able to see as you're approaching that back gate?
Oh, as you're coming up to that gate, you'd be able to see the whole backyard.
The entire backyard?
Oh yeah, from that gate, sure.
So if your dogs were out there and you walked up to the gate, you'd be able to see them, right?
Oh yeah.
When you returned home from work that day, did the dogs greet you?
I remember Queenie had her head up sort of over the fence. I remember going to pet her. She always comes up. She likes to see me when I get home. So.
But they didn't come through the gate, did they?
Well, no, the gate wasn't open.
Oh, okay. When you pulled the Chowser off of the plaintiff and put him into the pool area, were you injured?
Yes, I was.
How badly?
Pretty bad. I actually heard from a nurse at the hospital that I was injured, worse than the plaintiff was. Dog grabbed hold of my hand, he got a hold of my hand, and that really kind of messed that up. I had to have some surgery on my hand, grabbed hold of my arm, just being very territorial and everything.
Had you ever seen Chowser act like this before?
Not at all.
Directing your attention again to the diagram briefly, you don't need to get up. There's this oak tree here in the front. There's a sign on it, isn't there?
Oh yeah, it says dog warning, beware of dog.
And it's a beware of dog sign. Did you place that sign there?
No, Wes did.
Why do you believe Wes put that sign up?
I think he put it up there to sort of warn people away from our property. There was this incident back in, what was that, maybe 2005, where some kid had come up to our house and thrown some eggs at the house. I think he just wanted to warn people away from our property.
Okay. We'll talk about the incident in a second. I just want to talk about the logistics. If we're walking up, say, from 11:15 or 11:11, if we're walking up either of these sidewalks, up the front walk here, and then up the front to your front door, would anyone be able to see this beware of dog sign?
Oh, sure.
It's one of those can't miss things?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Big sign.
Move back to the incident in 2005 that you talked about.
Sure.
What exactly happened? When was this?
That happened on Halloween in 2005. It being Halloween and all, there's all kids, running around with masks and stuff, and doing their trick-or-treating, and their parents are with them and everything. And I remember we were getting ready to take Chowser out maybe for a walk. I guess maybe West was or something. When this kid rolls up to our house on his bicycle, runs up our front yard, throws eggs at our house. Chowser wasn't really too psyched about that.
And what did Chowser do?
Chowser ran up to the kid. I think he knocked him off his bike.
Was the kid injured?
I can't really recall. I think Chowser may have grabbed his leg, but I don't think he was seriously injured.
And you weren't sued for this?
No.
And Mr. Minister wasn't sued?
No.
Why do you believe Chowser went after this kid that egged your house?
Oh, I think he was just being territorial. That's what dogs do.
In June, how old was Chowser?
In June of 2010?
2010, yes.
About 7 or 8.
And what type of personality would you say he had?
Oh, very gentle, like a big cat. Just come up and rub on you.
How would you describe his mannerisms? How did he react to you and Becky and West and then other people?
Oh, very, very gentle. Got along with most people.
Would you say that he was a territorial dog, though, defended the home?
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of dogs are.
Turning back to the 2005 incident real briefly, you said it was a busy night, a lot of people trick-or-treating. How many other people did Chowser go after that night?
Nobody.
No passerbys, no other trick-or-treaters?
Nope.
There was another incident in 2004 that the plaintiff has mentioned. Do you remember that?
I remember Wes telling me about it, but I wasn't there for it.
You didn't witness it?
No.
Were you living with Mr. Minister and Chowser at the time?
No.
Do you know how old Chowser was when this incident occurred?
Might have been about a year old.
So just a puppy?
Yeah.
Have you had any occasion to spend time with Chowser as a puppy?
I remember when he was a puppy, he was just very excited.
How would you describe his mannerisms as a puppy? Overall?
Very, very excited, but as puppies are wont to be, but still, pretty gentle.
After that incident in 2004, did you ever have a chance to speak with the mailman?
I think once.
What, if anything, did you learn?
He told me he overreacted to the whole thing. He said he kind of blew it out of proportion. Didn't really happen the way it looked in the letter, and more or less just told me that it seemed.
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor. Sorry.
Goes to its effect on the listener. We're not offering it for its truth.
Objection is overruled.
Between Halloween 2005 and June 2010, can you recall any time where Chowser acted viciously or aggressively?
Absolutely not.
Has Chowser ever attacked anyone unprovoked?
No.
Your girlfriend, Becky, or your fiance rather, congratulations,
Thank
Becky
you.
Giles just testified a few moments ago that she spent the night many times at your home and was very familiar with Chowser.
Yeah,
How many times was she attacked by Chowser?
none.
Wes told us that earlier when he testified that he sold the dog because he didn't want the responsibility of it anymore, but that he didn't really believe the dog was dangerous. In all the times you've lived with Wes, how many times did Chowser attack him?
Never.
Aside from June 6th when you were injured rescuing the plaintiff, how many times had Chowser attacked you?
None.
Do you believe that Chowser is an obviously dangerous animal, as the plaintiff contends?
No, absolutely not.
Did you ever have any reason to believe before 2006 that Chowser was obviously dangerous?
No.
Did you ever have any reason to believe before June 6, 2010 that Chowser had vicious propensities?
No, absolutely not.
Were you ever told by anyone that Chowser was obviously dangerous?
No.
And one final question. Before this trial, had you ever spoken to the plaintiff?
No, never seen it before in my life.
No further questions.